Shalom and welcome to Hebrew with Mayim. This week's Torah portion is Vayechi, which means, and he lived. It's found in Genesis chapter 47, verse 28 to chapter 50, verse 26. And here's the English for the Torah portion. Genesis 47:28 says, "And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt for 17 years, and Jacob's days, the years of his life, were 147 years." So here's the first phrase. It starts with a vav and a patak, which says va, and a yud and a shava says ye, va ye. And this is a chet with a chirik and the yud together. We'll say chi, vai, chi. So this shava is actually not going to be sounded. It usually isn't in the middle of the word, especially when it follows a letter with a patak. So this is just vaychi. And this, these two letters, chet yud, form the word chai, which means lives, and that's a common word that is said in songs and other phrases. So vaychi, and he lived. This is a yud with a patak, which says ya, and this vertical line here is a secondary accent mark, so it's ya. This is the main accent mark right here, this trope mark. So the accent is on the last syllable, but this is like a secondary. This vertical line is a secondary accent mark. So ya, and this is an ayin with a chatef patak, which says a. So ya, a. And this is a kuf with a cholem and a vet at the end, which says kov. Yaakov. Yaakov. And Jacob lived would be how we would translate it in English. But literally it's, and lived Jacob. But we'll say, and Jacob lived. And this is a bet with a shava, so this will say b. Shava is usually sounded in the beginning of a word. And this is a bet. We know it's not a vet because bet has a belly button. So b. And then this preposition, b, means in or at or with. So in this context, it means in. And this is an aleph with a sigol, which says eh. And this right corner right here looking symbol is a munach. This is a trope mark, and this gives the accent. So the accent is on this syllable right here. So be'eh, and this is a resh with a sigol and a tsadi, so feet at the end, which will say retz, retz. So be'eretz, be'eretz. Okay, so this is in the land. There's an implied of here, and for English speakers, we would add an of, and this is a mem with a chirik, which says me, and this is a tsadi with a shava, which this shava is not going to be sounded. So this tsadi will just close out the syllable. We're just going to say meets, meets, and this is a resh with a patak, which says ra, meets ra, and this katon, this is a katon right here, and this will give us the accent mark for the word. So mitzra, and this is a yud with a chirik, and the memso feet will be together, and so we'll say yim, mitzrayim, and this is how we say Egypt in Hebrew, be'eretz mitzrayim, which means in the land of Egypt. This is a shin with a shava, so this will say she. And this is a vet with a patach, which says va, and this ayin is silent, so this is just va together, sheva. And this number means, or this word means the number 7, sheva. And this curly thing right here is the trope mark, and so we know that the accent is on the last syllable, sheva. Sheva means 7, and this is an ayin with a sigol, so this will say eh. And this is a sin with a shava. This will not be sounded. So we're just going to say s, Okay, S. This is a sin because the dot is over the left arm. So S. And this is a resh with a tsere. And then the hey at the end. Shalom, whoever joined. A resh with a tsere and a hey. So re. And this right here is the accent mark. So we know that the accent is on the last syllable. So this is esre. Esre means 10. So Shiva Esre means 17 together. Okay, and this is a shin with a kamatz. So this says sha. And this is a nun with a kamatz. And the hey together, this hey is just going to be silent. This is na, shana. This etnachtar right here, this trope mark gives us the accent. So we know the syllable is on the last. So we know the accent, is on the last syllable. So shana. Now shana is singular form, and the way it works is that if you have, I believe it's if the number is I don't know if it's above 10 or 10 and above, you use the singular shana, and if it's below the number 10, you use the plural shanim. Okay, so because this is higher than the number 10, we're going to say shana, the singular form of the word for year. Okay, so Shiva Asre Shana, which means 7 and 10 years. Okay, so next we have this sounds very similar to the first word we had, which was the first word was Vayechi, and he lived, right? The only difference here is we have a hey instead of a chet. So instead of Vayechi, this is Vayehi, a hey instead of the chet. And Vayehi means and there was, okay? Or here we're going to translate it as and there were, because it's talking about this, and this is plural. So this is yud, and this shiva will give a quick ye, and this is a mem, and this tsere and the yud together will say me. Yeme, yeme. Yom means day, yeme means days of. Okay, yamim would be days. Yeme, it means days of. So this means days of, and there were the days of, and were the days of. It's a little bit odd though if you translate it literally, but did we translate this already? I think we did. Yes. Okay, so we already translated this word, so I won't do it again. This is Yaakov, Jacob. We already read it, so I'm not gonna go letter by letter. So literally it's and were the days of Jacob, but we would translate it as and the days of Jacob were. Okay, the days of Jacob were. This is a shin, and then shiva, which says she, and this is a nun with set in the yud. Together we say ne. Shene means years of. Okay, shana is year. Shanim would be years. Shene is years of. Years of. This munach right here tells us the accent on the last syllable. Shene is the chet with a patak, which says cha, and a yud with a kamatz, and this yud together will say. Actually, this yud is silent. So yud with the kamatz, this yud is silent, and then this vav will be part of this. So chayav. Okay, chayav. Remember chay, I was telling you before, the chet and the yud together means life. Chayav means his life. Okay, chayav is his life. So shenei chayav. So in the days of Jacob were, the years of his life. And this, again, this is the same. We had this already. This is Sheva. You know what? Over here, this is Sheva. And this one is Sheva. I think probably because this is just 7. And this Sheva over here was part of Esre, Shiva Esre. So this is the accent was on the last syllable because it really went together with this word right here to say 17, not just 7. But here it's just Sheva because it's just 7, not 17. Sheva, and this is the shin with the kamatz, which is sha, and a nun with a hirik and the yud, and the mem sufi together will say nim, shanim, and the accent mark is on the last syllable because over the nun right here. This is the accent or trope mark, shanim, and this means years, and this is the plural form of the name of the word years, shanim, sheva shanim, 7 years. Okay, so it's not over yet though. Okay. But 7 years. Okay. And then this is a vav with a shava, which is v, and the aleph, the patak, which is a, and then a resh. This will not be sounded, so we're going to sound this together, ar, ve'ar. And this is a bet with the kamatz, which is ba, and this ayin is sant with the chirik and the yud and the mem sufi together to form the last syllable. We'll say im. So ve, ar, ba, im. And arba, aleph, resh, bet, ayin, means 4. Arba'im means 40. Okay, ve arba'im and 40. So this really goes along with this. So 7 years and 40. And this is a vav with a dot through it. We'll say u. Okay. And this the shava is I'm gonna sound it here. So u me, and this is an aleph with a patach and a tav at at. Some people sound this, some people don't. I don't remember what the rule is regarding what is correct, but I'll check two audio Torah sources, and they did pronounce it. So it's ume'at. And this means and 100, okay? And this is me'az, actually 100. Me'at means 100 of, but this, and it goes with this right here, shin and a kamatz, which is sha. Oh, we already had this word, so I won't go letter by letter. This is shana. We already had this, and it means years. In context, it's literally just a singular form of the word year because the numbers greater than 10 were in the Hebrew, we just use a singular form. And I think if it's below that number, we will use, if it's below 10, we will use the plural form, shanim. Unless, of course, it's just talking about 1 year, then we would say shana again. Okay, so this part of this. So 7 years and 140 years. So 147 years, basically. Okay, so let's just look at the English again. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt for 17 years, and Jacob's days, the years of his life, were 147 years. Okay, so here's the whole verse together. Vayechi Yaakov, and Jacob lived be'eretz Mitzrayim, in the land of Egypt, Sheva Esrei, 17 shana years. Vayehi Yimei Yaakov, and the days of Jacob were Shnei Chayav, the years of his life, Sheva Shanim, 7 years, V'arba'im u'me'at shana, and 140 years. Okay, and if you read some commentaries, you might find something interesting in terms of why the 7 years are mentioned first and then the 140 years. This is not too uncommon to mention the number separately, and oftentimes commentators like Rashi and such will give some mystical interpretation as to why it's separated that way. Okay, next verse. The English is, when the time drew near for Israel to die, he called his son Joseph and said to him, if I have now found favor in your eyes, now place your hand beneath my thigh, and you shall deal with me with loving kindness and truth. And do not bury me now in Egypt. So don't bury me in Egypt. The second verse, I'm not going to go letter by letter. I'll just read it. So this is Vayikrevu, which means and drew near. Okay. And this is Yemeh. Again, this day means days of. Yom, days. Yemeh is days of. Yisrael, Israel. Okay, so the days of Israel drew near. So this Vayikrevu is actually plural form because it's the days that are drawing near. Okay. Vayikrevu. And the way we know that it's plural, not only from context, but also this u ending is a plural ending. Now, if we didn't have the vav here, if we just had yikrevu, this would be the imperfect tense. It would mean and will draw near, meaning will happen in the future. But this vav not only means and, it also reverses the tense. It makes it perfect tense, which is like past tense. So yikrevu means and they will draw near, and vayikrevu means and they drew near, past tense. Okay. So yom is day, yamim is days, yameh is days of. This yud at the end often indicates the word of at the end of a plural, at the end of a plural noun. So if it was just day of Israel, it would just be Yom Yisrael, because it's days of Israel. We don't say Yamim Yisrael, which is literally days Israel. We would say Yemeh Yisrael, which is days of Israel. So if it's just one day, Yom Yisrael, the of is implied. If it's the plural, Yamim, it becomes Yemeh, and the of is no longer implied. It's literally there, right there, with that yud suffix. Okay, and when you say Yisrael, you want to make sure not to slur Ra and El together. You don't want to say Yisrael, but Yisrael. This, you should have some kind of pause or breath right after Ra and before the Aleph, because I know they say that Aleph is silent, but it's not really just silent. It's actually a pause. So, when you say the word uh-oh, there's a pause between and o, right? So whenever there's a vowel under the Aleph that is to be sounded, you want to make sure there's like a pause between the previous consonant and the one that the Aleph starts. So Yisrael, okay? If you heard the pause, uh-oh, Yisrael, okay? Not Yisrael, which is, more common. I guess in English you would say Israel, even more. We would slur it together even more, Israel. But in Hebrew, they're much more distinct, these two syllables, Yisrael. And this is the trope or accent mark, and it's at the end of, it's on the last syllable. So Yisrael, okay, not Israel. It's not Yisrael, like more like English. It's Yisrael, okay. All right. And this is a lamed and kamatz, which is la. This is a mem with a vav and a dot through it, which says u, so lamu. And this is a tet with a this is a segol, but it's a trope mark segol because it's above the letter, not underneath it. And so the accent mark is on the last syllable, mut, okay, lamut. Oh, I said I wasn't going to go letter by letter. Okay, lamut. Lamut is the infinitive form of the verb to die, okay, and we know it's infinitive because of the presence of this lamed right here, lamut, okay, to die. Okay, and this is a vav with a patak, which is va, and this is a yud with a hirik and a kuf together, which says yik, and this shava will not be sounded, vayik, and this is a resh with a kamatz, and this is ra, vayikra, vayikra, and this gives the accent mark, which is on the last syllable, vayikra, and it's a very common verb. It's used all the time in the Torah, and it means and he called. Okay, and remember, yikra is and he will call. The presence of the vav makes it perfect tense, so it's vayikra. It's and he called. Because of this vav, it flips the tense of this verb right here. So and he called. Okay, this is a sorry, I won't go letter by letter. So this is leave, no, and this lamed right here acts as a preposition, which means to, or in this case, for, okay, to. So he called to or for. And this vet, so this is leave, no. This vet and noon means son, okay? We'd pronounce it ben if it was just together, just these two letters. And this o suffix means his. So to the son, his. This means his, this means to or for, and this means son. So leave no for his son. Okay? And this is a lamed. This lamed is also going to be is also going to act like this lamed. It's a prefix, which means to, okay? Le Yosef, to Joseph, okay? And this is the accent or trope mark at the last syllable, Yosef, to Joseph. And he called to his son, to Joseph. Or we just translate it in English as, and he called for his son Joseph. Okay. And this is another very common verb in Hebrew, also in this form. This is vayomer. The accent is on yo, vayomer. And it means, and he said. So, vayomer, and he said, and again, yomer would be he will say, and vayomer is, and he said. Okay. And he said, and lo means to him. Now remember, I said this o right here means his, and this it's kind of related to this o right here, which means him. And this lamed, this means to. And I told you this lamed right here is also to or for, right? So lamed with this vav with a dot over it, so would say lo, like this one, lo, which would mean to him. And because there's a ben right here in between them, it's to his son, okay? So you can kind of see the relationship there visually, to him and to his son. So, and he said to him, and this is im, and this im means if, okay? And this says na. Na means please. Sometimes it's translated as now, but it's literally please, okay? If please. And he said to him, if please. And this is matzati. And the accent mark is on sa, so matzati. Matzati. And this means I have found favor. No, sorry. I have found. Just I have found. Matzati, I have found. So if I have found. So please, if I have found. Okay. And this is a chet with its, this is chen. This is the word chen. And this means favor or grace. Chen. Okay. And this is be'einecha. And this accent, the accent is on ne. So be'einecha. And be means in. Eine means eyes, and this is cha means your. Okay, so in eyes, in your eyes, be'einecha. Okay. So if I have found favor or grace in your eyes, so it says sim na, So that's sim is put or establish. This means please. So please put, and this is ya. Remember, this is a secondary accent mark. Ya decha. This is the main accent mark. So ya decha. And yad is hand, cha is your. So please put your hand. Yadecha. So please put your hand. Na is please. Sim is put. Yadecha is your hand. Sim na yadecha. And this is ta chat. And the accent is on the first syllable ta. Tachat. Tachat means under. Like tachat chashochan, under the table. This is tachat Yerechi, and Yerechi is my thigh. The e suffix at the end means my, and this part, the beginning, means thigh. So Yerechi, my thigh, and the accent is on the last syllable. Yerechi, my thigh. So put your hand under my thigh, and you'll see this request all over the Torah, and it's how they made oaths or promises back in the old days. If you were serious, you would be willing to put your hand under the person's thigh when you made a promise to him or oath. Okay, and this is ve'asita, which means and do with me. Ve'asita means just and do, or think of the way it's translated in this verse as and deal. Okay. And you do, or and you deal. And imadi means with me, okay? Imadi is with me. So the im part means with, and the rest of it is means me. So ve'asita, and the accent here is on C. Okay, ve'asita imadi. The accent is on the last syllable, D. Ve'asita imadi, and do with me, or deal with me. And this is chesed, which means kindness, and this is ve'emet, and the accent mark is on the last syllable, met. We have a secondary accent here, so ve'emet. This means and truth. So deal with me with kindness and truth. So there's no with, it's kind of implied here, but deal with me in kindness and truth, or with kindness and truth. Okay, so emet is truth, chesed is kindness or loving kindness. Okay, and this is al na. All this word right here will mean no or not. It will negate something. Okay, al na, no please, and this is tik bereni, which means bury me. So please don't bury me. Okay, el na tik bereni. So please don't bury me. And this is be mitzrayim. Now this indicates the end of the verse or sentence, and because this always has to go at the end of the word, which is usually just this vertical line, which usually just acts as a secondary accent mark. This is actually where the accent should be in the word. Bemitzrayim. It's not a secondary accent mark, it's just the accent mark, because this trope mark always goes at the end. So Bemitzrayim, in Egypt. So do not bury me in Egypt. Okay. Now let's read the whole verse. Okay, this is Vayikrevu Yemei Yisrael. So the days of Israel were approaching. Lamut, to die. Vaikra, so for Israel to die. The days for Israel to die were approaching. Vaikra livno leYosef. So, and he called to his son Joseph. Vayomer lo, and he said to him, Imna, if please, matsati chen, I have found favor, beinecha, in your eyes, simna, please put, yadecha, your hand, tachat yerechi, under my thigh, ve'asita imadi, and deal with me, chesed ve'emet, with kindness and truth, alna, do not please, tikbereni, bury me, b'mitzrayim, in Egypt. Okay, last verse that we'll cover today. It says in English, I will lie with my forefathers, and you shall carry me out of Egypt, and you shall bury me in their grave. And he said, I will do as you say. So this is Genesis 47:30. Okay, so this is Veshachavti, which means, and I will lie. Im avotai, with my fathers. Im is with. Avotai is fathers, and it is plural, avotai. So av is father. Avot is fathers. Avotai is my fathers. Okay. Okay, so this is unsatani, which means, and you shall carry me, actually, and you shall carry me, unsatani, mi Mitzrayim. Mi is from, and Mitzrayim is Egypt, okay? You shall carry me from Egypt. So, and this is ukvartani, which means, and you shall bury me, ukvartani. And this means, this says, bikvuratam, which means in their grave, talking about his father's, his ancestors' graves. Okay, bikvuratam. And if you notice, you shall bury me in their grave. There's a common root in these two words, kuf, vet, resh. So you might, in English we don't have it as much, but in Hebrew, verbs can also be nouns, and vice versa. So this you might say in English, and you shall bury me in their burial plot, or in their burial place. Okay, there's this common, this is bury, the verb, and here this is like a burial, the noun. Okay, so B here is in, and this tam is there. Okay, in their burial, or in their grave. Shall bury me in their grave. And this is Vayomar, and which means, and he said, and this is Anochi, I. And he said, I. And this is E'ese, which is I will do. So I will do. And this is Kidvarecha, which means according to your word. Now, you might recognize these three letters. Davar means word, okay? And this chi means as, or according to, or like, this chi prefix. And this ha means your, okay? So we'll do according to your word. Okay, so let's read the whole verse together. Is the third verse now. This is Veshachavti im avotai unsatani mi Mitzrayim ukvartani bikvuratam vayomar anochi e'ese chidvarecha. This is, and I will lie with my forefathers, or my ancestors, okay? And you shall carry me from Egypt. And this is, and you shall bury me in their burial, or you shall bury me in their grave. And he said, I will do according to your word. Or as you say, I'll do as you say, right? I'll do according to your word. Okay. Now we're going to learn the trope for this verse. Okay. So I'm gonna name all of the trope marks while singing how they should sound, okay? This is an Ashkenazic melody. I think it's a very beautiful one. It's not the most common one, but it's a variation of the common one. Like you can download an app called Pocket Torah and Pocket Torah Trope, and it's similar to this. Not exactly the same though. So this is Mapak Pashta Munach Katon Merchatibha Merchatibha Et Nachta Mapak Pashta Munach Katon Merchatibha Sof Pasuk. Okay, so I pointed to the trope marks while saying their names and chanting them, okay? Now we'll do it word by word. Vayechi has mapak, so this is Vayechi, and Yaakov has pashta, so this is Yaakov, so this is Vayechi Yaakov, and Be'eretz Mitzrayim has Munach Katon, so this is Be'eretz Mitzrayim, and this trope mark is a master, and it indicates a pause, and you might say even because of the presence of this katon, you might even put a comma right here in the verse. So, and Jacob lived in the land of Egypt. Okay, that's one thought. That's what this katon is trying to say. This is one thought. So we'll say this together. Vayechi Yaakov be'eretz Mitzrayim. Okay, and then the next clause, that's the first clause. The next clause ends right here. This is a separator, master or separator, et nachta. So Shava Esrei Shana is troped with Merchatibcha et nachta. So this is Shava Esrei Shana. Okay, Shava Esrei Shana. And this means 17 years, okay? So, and Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years, okay? And this is Yemei Yaakov says Pashta. So this is Yemei Yaakov. This is the days of Jacob. Okay, these two words share the same trope mark here. The days of Jacob. Oh wait, I didn't do this right here yet. Sorry, this is Vayehi. Vayehi says Mapak. So this is Vayehi Yemei Yaakov. Okay, and this is Shnei Chayav, which is Munach Katon. So this is Shnei Chayav. Okay. And this is Sheva Shanim, which says Munach Katon. It's the same as this. Okay. So this is Sheva Shanim. The only difference is that here the trope mark is in the beginning, so the accent is on the beginning, and here it's on the end. So this is Shnei, and this is Sheva, so you can kind of hear the difference. So Shnei Chayav, this is Sheva Shanim, and this is Ve'arba'im u'me'at shana, and this is Merchatibcha Sof Pasuk. So this is Ve'arba'im u'me'at shana. So this is and 40 and 100 years. So this is the days of his life, 7 years, and 40 and 100 years. Okay, so let's do the whole verse together now. This is Vayechi Yaakov be'eretz Mitzrayim 17 shana Vayehi yemei Yaakov shnei chayav 7 shanim ve'arba'im u'me'at shana. So let's see where it's separated again. So, and the days of Jacob, and Jacob lived in the land of Egypt. That's one thought or a phrase. Okay, Sheva Esrei Shana is 17 years, and the next clause ends here. So Vayehi yemei Yaakov shnei chayav. So that's and the days of Jacob were the years of his life. Okay, and this is Sheva Shanim. That's another phrase right here, 7 years. It's very, very interesting that they put Sheva Shanim in a phrase all by itself. So again, you might want to read some commentaries about that. And then this is the last clause right here, and 40 and 100 years. Okay.
I'd like to invite you to visit my website at www.hebrewmime.com. That's HEBREWMAYIM.com. And you can click on the button to sign up for free lessons, free Hebrew lessons, to your email, delivered every week or so. Sometimes I miss a week. Sometimes I'll send more than one email for that week. So again, just visit my website, HebrewMime.com. And I also have special sections here. Not only can you sign up for free Hebrew lessons to your email, but you can also get my playlist to learn the Aleph Bet, even Aleph Bet with Elmo. And I also have a section on learning various Jewish prayers and blessings. I also have you can see all of the Hebrew lessons from Genesis to Deuteronomy. And what else? Oh, I have a section on ancient Hebrew. Learn how to pronounce the Hebrew letters in the ancient Hebrew pronunciation, the ancient Hebrew tongue. I have some lessons on how to trope or chant the Torah, specifically lessons for that. And then I also have links to if you're interested in getting more formal biblical Hebrew lessons or modern Hebrew lessons from a good friend in Israel. So you can check that out as well. So just visit my website at HebrewMime.com. Shalom. Would you like to become the healer of your home and your community and create a profitable online health coaching business? Are you interested in becoming a health coach, a naturopath, an herbalist, or a nutritionist? Do you need help finding the right program for studying holistic health and healing? Or perhaps you already have certification, but you're still not confident enough in healing people and don't know how to build a business that will empower you to have an impact and allow you to leave your regular day job. Are you ready to get a deep and comprehensive picture of holistic health and healing and learn from top healers in our day so that you can stop being stuck in a job or a career you don't have a passion for? Heal yourself and others without the need for pharmaceutical drugs with harmful side effects, doctors, or even dentists. Become more knowledgeable about holistic health and healing than most medical doctors who have graduated from medical school without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of time in expensive medical schools or programs. Build a health coaching business that will allow you to work from home and achieve time, location, and financial freedom. Aruka.com empowers people to become the healers of their home and their community by equipping them with naturopathic herbalism, health coaching, and online business and marketing skills. My name is Mayim. I'm 42 years old and a homeschool mom of 7 beautiful children. These 2 in the photo are my October babies. I became a naturopathic herbalist and health coach in order to take charge of my family's health when the modern medical system kept failing us. We were spending thousands of dollars on insurance and other medical expenses but they did not have any answers for our health problems. Working from home has been such a blessing for us. I used to work at the NASA Ames Research Center as a computer scientist/engineer. But being able to have an online business has enabled me to surpass my income at NASA and to be there for my family, homeschool them, take care of them, watch them grow up every step of the way for 18 years now. I started Aruka.com in 2009 to help people become healthy and heal themselves. I've coached all sorts of people, and eventually even medical doctors and nurses started coming to me repeatedly for help, for various health issues for themselves or their loved ones. I help people heal themselves of serious diseases such as cancer, heart disease, and high blood pressure, diabetes, as well as other common issues such as hormone imbalances, abnormal bleeding, migraines, eczema, kidney stones, gallstones, cataracts, and even urinary tract infection. Various people began asking me to start teaching what I know about holistic health and healing, including 2 medical doctors who have become very good friends of mine. When I realized that there was such a demand for the knowledge I have, that even medical doctors were telling me to teach, I shifted the focus of Aruka.com, and now we teach people how to become confident healers through our naturopathic herbalist and health coach certification program. We help people become healers of their home and community and create profitable online health coaching businesses. If you're interested in becoming a holistic healer, please visit our website, aruka.com, ARUKAH.com. Again, that's ARUKAH.com. Hope to see you there.